I want you to put it out. Put some respect on it.
Bitch, I'm on my mom's side.
When you say my name, put some respect on it. I ain't playing with y'all. Put some respect on it. And I ain't gonna say it. And I ain't gonna say it no more. Listen, now I could have pulled up, put some respect on it, but that ain't gay.
All right. Hey, Bryson. Oh, you got to send me the link. I will send you the link. I will send you the link. I will definitely send you the link. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hey to everybody. Oh my God. I want everybody to like, comment, and subscribe in this bitch. Period. I'm sorry I didn't go live yesterday. Like it was scheduled because it was scheduled to go live. I was scheduled to go live last night, but a lot of shit went down and I just couldn't. No tea, no shade. I was hot as fuck. Like I couldn't even focus. Like I had to take a nap, child. Like that's the real tea. But off of that, hey, Christy, what's up? Since the girl wanted the convo here, hey Tessa, hey boo. So y'all, this is going to be a panel discussion. Somebody brought to my attention this in my Discord, and I thought it was an amazing topic. Reason being for this topic is of me having this panel discussion is because of all the trans topics and like it's so much division going on with the trans community and the women, the biological women group. It's a lot of intense, a lot of feelings are being hurt, a lot of words is being misconstrued. A lot has happened. If y'all noticed that I went live not too long ago, I went live this afternoon. Hey Escrow, I went live this afternoon and I had Bryson on, I had Roland on, and I had this amazing other content creator, which I believe her YouTube channel is Let's Talk Wild. She's all about animals. She's all about animals. That's what her content is based on. Animals and everything, everything. And she felt some type of way about trans women saying that, oh, they're not the gatekeepers of periods and all that other jazz. You know what I'm saying? So I have Harviana coming through, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the whole thing between the trans woman and the cisgender woman. We're gonna get to that first, and then we're going to get to the question at hand and what this live is about. Should the T in LGBTQ be removed due to it being about identity, solely on identity rather than sexuality? Okay, so this should be a good topic. This should be a respectful topic. We are here to have a constructive dialogue. There will be respect. We will let each other talk. We will not talk over each other. We have to let people say what they have to say. We're not going to jump in. We're not going to do none of that. Because at the end of the day, we're all grown. I know that some topics are going to be touchy. It's going to be a not so good topic because these topics always are going to be brought up. It's going to have its, It's continuous dialogue, people having opinions, people changing their opinion. It's all of that. So let's get into some things, okay? So Bryson, I'm going to send you the thing now. Let me get Harviana on, and also y'all. Oh, Harvey said is she needs like 5 minutes. I also got what's that? JT will be here as well. JT will be in the building. I did send a thing out to JT. Y'all all know who JT is. If y'all don't know who JT is a part of another another web reality show. She's a trans woman because I needed a trans woman on the panel to give her side. So and we all know how JT speaks. You know, she speaks with intelligence. She don't raise her voice. She don't get into none of the ignorance and all that. She says what she has to say, and she's respectable about other people's opinions. So I did call JT, call for JT to come onto the panel. I had to have Harviana because he was the one to pose the question. So yeah. So I have Harviana, JT, and now Bryson. I also invited Bubs because he is also a person with sound mind and he cares about LGBT issues. So I want to have Bubs over. I texted him. He couldn't be. I texted him about this last night when the live was supposed to be premiering, but he couldn't do it. So hopefully he says yes to tonight. Yes, JT is from Set It Off. Yes, Set It Off Atlanta, Tessa. Yes, that JT from Queen's Corner. That's her. So let me get the. Let me get. I'm gonna send it to you, Bryson. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, give me a second. Let me see where Bryson is. Let me see where my bitch Bryson is. Okay, Bryson is coming in. Okay. So JT, I'm live now. I'm getting everything together. So yes. No, I'm sending to your check on IG, Bryson. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, okay. All right. So everybody is online now, y'all. Okay. Let me get to some questions, y'all. So Chris T writes, T should definitely not be removed from LGBT, but do trans people consider themselves straight or gay, bi, or lesbian? Well, we will have to ask that question. That's a poignant question to ask. Okay. It was a good opportunity. Like no shade, y'all. It was a good opportunity to talk about these things because hey Lemon Kush. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I'm gonna just say this, and this is my opinion. Hey Deshaun, no. Oh, so you feel Deshaun, you feel like the T should not be removed also, correct? Okay. Drop the link. Girl, it's in your I let me just drop the link. Let me just drop the link. I should have just dropped the link because I send it to y'all to y'all to y'all Instagrams, but I'm gonna just drop the link. Now only Bryson, Harviana, JT, if she's in here, JT, if you're in here, click the link. Okay, you're on your computer. Okay, got you. All right. If it wasn't for trans, they made a way. Okay. If it wasn't for trans, they made the way for gay people. Got you. Understand. Hey, boo.
Hold on, wait. Let me. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, bitches. Hi, everyone in the chat. The queen is back, honey. I just got out the pool, honey. And we talking about the LGBTQIAMIMNC community. And we are ready to get some other things. Yeah.
If any letter should be removed, it's Q. What does it really mean? I always thought the Q meant queer.
I thought it's mean question, like the people who don't know what the hell they are. Let's talk about it. Let's really get into
Is that for non-binary or the plus sign is for?
We don't have non-binary. What does non-binary mean? Yeah.
Well, Chad, we're gonna talk about it, but
let's get into some.
I agree with we don't agree a lot of things, but I agree with you on that.
Hopefully,
JT we don't. Hi, Bryson. How are you?
Carvana, I am fabulous.
It sounds good. You sound amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, honey.
You sound great as well.
Thank you.
All right. So, like I said before, guys, the question was brought to me by my supporters, and I remember the question was put out there by Harviana. Harviana was the one who posed the question that in Harviana, you can step in for this. I remember you saying that. Huh?
Are we going to wait for everybody, or are we just going to jump into it right now?
We could talk about it a little bit because I'm still waiting on JT.
Because I'm going to go full thing.
Now, she was active, but she's not active now. What's going on, child?
I mean, we can talk about it, and then JT can join because JT is intelligent enough to.
Yeah.
JT is very intelligent.
Of course. But yeah, we can still talk. We'll just wait on her. We could just, when she comes, she comes.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Harviana. Oh, so y'all want me to go ahead and start it off? Let me explain something to y'all. Okay. So first of all, the LGBT, let's break down those alphabets. It's often referred to as the alphabet community because most days we wake up, it's a new letter, right? Well, the L stands for lesbian, which is a sexual preference. The G stands for gay, which is a sexual preference. The B stands for bisexual, which is a sexual preference. The T stands for transgender, which is a sexual identity, which is different than a preference. You're not preferring to be trans. You identify as trans. That's not who you are or how you show up. So I feel that if you want to include the T, that's fine, but it should be included in male, female, trans. It shouldn't be in the same category as gay, bi, asexual, pansexual, you know what I'm saying, or a lesbian. It shouldn't be.
But can I ask why, if it's a gay man that wants to be a woman?
It's not a gay man because you have to really dig deep into the identity and the definition of transgender.
No, we can't. We can't go by our identity. It's not.
Wait, we have to let people finish.
It's cute to say identity.
We gotta let people finish their thought.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I love this banter. But what I'm saying is, if someone is identifying as trans, that's not a gay man. That's no longer considered gay. That is a person who feels that they were born into the wrong sex and they are the opposite sex in which they were assigned. So that's not a gay thing. That's an identity thing. That is a gay. Go ahead.
Harviana, I get what you're saying, but you can identify how you want to, but what you are is what you are. You are born, you could identify, that does not change your biology. If that is a man, a biological man that wants to transform into a woman, that's fine. But authentically, He's still biologically a man and cannot give a biological male what he wants. It's still a man.
No, but
You may want to consider yourself a biological woman, but you're not. That's not, and that's still that's a homosexuality trait. That is a
no,
homo.
it's
That is,
not.
you are still. No. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that if I identify as a woman, then if a man likes me, then they automatically that means that they are straight.
But
But
Bryson, what I want to
biologically, that is not hetero.
right.
You
But Bryson,
cannot
what I
you
want you
cannot
to
you cannot
clarify
go
is
off.
this: if a person is a trans, they're not saying they're gay. They're saying that they are that opposite sex in which they were assigned.
Yes,
So
that's
it's
what they're
not that's not
saying,
a
but
gay thing,
that's
though.
not the reality, Hariana.
That is the
Stop
reality.
acting like you stop acting like you don't have a penis. Stop acting like you don't have
Let
it.
me cut in here. Let me cut in here. Let me cut in here for just a bit. Let me also ask a question. Let me also ask a question to both of y'all. So if we feel like if well, I don't know this per se, but if we feel that the T should be removed, how y'all feel about some of the comments saying that if it wasn't for these trans individuals taking a stance on gay rights, on or equality,
Oh, child, please.
nothing, we wouldn't be here till this day. What
I
do
mean,
y'all
we're
think
not
about
negate, but my
that?
thing
If
is
the
this.
T should be removed, what do y'all think about that?
What I want to say about that is you have to understand, as Scotty said, thank you, Scotty, in the chat. There's a difference between sexuality and gender identity. It is. And we're not
Yes, there
negating
is,
or
but
trying
we're talking about your biology. Like your
but
biology
the
is still,
biology.
you can't tell a straight man that if he meets a trans woman you are trying to convince him that just because you didn't identify with being a woman, a male as you were born, that he has to accept. You can't do that. You can't force that on him. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's a different issue because what we're saying
How
is
is that a different issue?
because you're
If
trying to
anybody in the chat
correlate.
want to come up, I can definitely put the link in the chat. This is
But
y'all all welcome up here to give y'all
Okay,
opinion.
okay, hurry up. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean
Oh
to
no, you
interrupt
were
you.
fine,
No,
Bryson.
you
Oh
good,
man, you
Bryson.
good, yeah.
Do your
Now,
thing.
what I was saying is there's like Scotty said, it's the difference between gender identity. We don't understand trans because I think
That's
you
true.
and I have never woke up out of our sleep, out of our day, out of anything and said we are women. So we don't know what that
You
feels
said
like.
me. I don't consider myself. First, I know that I'm a boy. I know that I'm a
And
male.
so
I
do I.
know that I'm a man.
And so do I.
Huh?
And so with us knowing that we're men, we don't know what it's like to feel like we're in the wrong body and that we were misassigned
Yes,
at birth.
but that is something that's called gender dysphoria, and then also you cannot force people. You cannot. It is not okay, and it is
But
not for
the
you
only
to
thing we
force
can
people.
implement is
Hold on. Let
respect.
me finish. It is not okay for you to like if you are born a male and everybody else is going off of there are only two genders, and then you are going off of what you would like to just because what you identify is. You would like people to call. I can do that all day, but I'm not going to erase the fact of what you are. I'm not going just because I know what you are doesn't mean that I have to disrespect or go against what you would like to be. I'm not saying I'm going to disrespect that. What I'm trying to say is that don't try to make me feel and try to make me feel like I'm crazy because I know that you were born this way and you transition this way. And if I believe that, then I'm crazy. That's the problem. That's
Well,
the problem.
Well, I think that with a lot of things, we don't really understand it, but we respect it. If people come to me or you, and I feel like I know you well enough to know this, if somebody was to come to you and say that they are a Buddhist, you might not know shit about Buddhism or Hinduism, but you're going to respect
that. Fine.
Right, right. And we're going to respect that to be your election. We're not going to disrespect it, just as schools allow people to miss school based on religious practices, because maybe it's not the traditional Christian way, but because it's a different way, we're going to still respect it. I think that's what the trans community is aiming for, is that respect. But we're not trying
They
to
have respect. They have, like, nobody is telling you that you can't be trans. Nobody is telling you. Haven't seen anybody that says you can identify what you want to identify. It's when you get into the realm where you're calling people different names. So you're calling regular women, you're calling biological women cis, and they say that they don't want to be called cis. And then when it gets into when they don't want to be called cis, and you still call them cis, and you're trying to force that on them, and then you are also not you. I'm talking in general. You get what I'm saying? They're saying, hey, just like you don't want you are born a he, and you want to be called she. You want to be called she. I don't want to be called cis. And that's what they're saying. They're saying,
I honestly,
calling me cis.
I agree with you. I do not think that biologically born women should have to identify as cis women, because they didn't make any type of transition. Nothing about them have changed.
Why can't a trans woman be a trans woman? Like, why are you trying to escape from that word?
Anybody want to come up here and give their opinion? Keep going, you guys.
But yeah,
no, I respect that.
If I want to come up.
But yeah, I agree.
Hold on. What Scotty by Nature said, it's a respect factor. If you want to be respected for who you are,
sorry, you was reading it. My bad.
No, it's fine. I'm talking to Harviana and you.
If you want to be respected for who you are, then respect the trans people for who they are and what their pronouns are.
Yes, but they want to be respected for their pronouns. But if a woman says, I do not want to be called cisgender, and you are trying to educate them and try to tell them, oh, you try to give these education, and they said, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't want to be called cisgender, and you still do it. And they're saying, just call me a woman because I'm a woman. Why is that wrong? But then you have trans women that transition from men to women, and they want to be called women, but they want to be called they want cis women.
Of cis,
I don't understand that
term that has been used in the scientific community forever. No one.
It doesn't matter if it was used in the scientific community or not. There are a lot of stupid things. There are a lot of foolish things that are published. And I'm not going to talk about just because you could find it in a book. There are a lot of people. Anybody can publish a book.
Okay, like I said, on both sides. Okay, so let's switch gears on this.
Okay,
let's switch gears a little bit. Now, with the situation that's going on now, and we talked about it earlier, is why there's such a heavy divide between why is there such a heavy divide between trans and women and all of that, and I just finished T.S. Madison's rant on Tasha K. She just finished her rant, and I said, and she said this. Okay, if you don't want to be called cisgender women, And some trans women don't want to be trans. Why can't we all just be women? How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about just taking out of the label calling cis or trans?
It's not the same.
How about we just call?
Why can't trans women just be trans women and women be women? I don't understand.
I agree with that, Bryson. All of them can't be
exactly. Why?
There's a difference between a trans woman and a woman. Different. So what?
I said, so Harviana, what I said earlier on Aaron's Live, I feel like a lot. What I noticed is a lot of transgender women want to be called woman, and then when they address biological women, they want to call them cis women.
Hey boo, hey boo.
That's the problem. Why can't you just call a woman and then you are a transgender woman? There's nothing wrong with it. It's like you're trying to erase that you're trans. Just say that you're a transgender woman.
I think that's the problem. There's not enough science behind.
So that means that if they're dating, there's men out there that seek trans people that are still straight.
So yes, they seek trans and they know that they're trans woman because they're saying that they're trans. But you cannot put women at the end of the day. If a woman says, "Hey, you want me to call you these pronouns," and I'm saying that, okay, well, I don't want you to call me this. I want you to call me a woman, and then you have to having this conversation. Trying to tell me that trying to force the cis word on women when they tend to tell you that it's literally reversed. They're telling you, I don't want to be cis, I'm just a woman, and you don't want them to say he. Like, if you want them to respect you, respect them.
I think that we got to be careful, as I said before, with Pandora's box. The stuff that we open up sometimes can just manifest into a lot of craziness. And like, if you're letting people just tell you who they are, yes, we are respecting it, but how far do we go?
What do you mean by that? How far do we go?
You got people, and this is facts, that believe that they're animals. There just was a story posted, I think.
Yes.
Where they said this.
Come on, Javiana. Girl, this is the first time I agree with you, bitch.
You know, where this man said $20,000 to be a dog.
Yeah, oh, in China, right? He made a costume. Did you see that?
He made a costume to lift his.
He made a costume so he can identify as a dog. Y'all are fucking crazy, and y'all think that Harviana is not like, y'all need to stop. Like, we give you an inch and y'all take a fucking mile. We let you say you can identify as anything. Once Rachel said that she was white and now she wants to identify. Like, y'all need to stop acting like reality is not reality. Reality is reality.
Okay, I'm back. I applaud you for taking.
Oh my fucking Harviana, girl.
Or data.
I don't know how the fuck we fell out, but I know we fell out. But girl, I don't understand.
What happened to the
no, but I mean, I'm all about respect.
She, her, or no trend. It's too much out there now. I'm confused. Philly Scorpio, I agree with that. It's a lot of confusion.
It's too much confusion.
Everyone
should it's not, and I don't think it's confusion.
No, you are a trans woman.
All you gotta do is respect people. You just
what's the problem with being a trans woman? Why can't you just be a trans woman?
Well, Bryson, why is it a problem if they call themselves women?
They're not women.
Because they're not women. Because no. The reason I'm gonna tell you why. Go ahead, Harvey. Go ahead, Harvey.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, kind of piggybacking on what you said. Like, they're not women. I mean, we can't, we can't just
girl, just say it. I know you want. I know what you're gonna say. Just say it.
We can't negate facts. We can't negate science. A woman
Thank
is
you.
a woman and a man is a man. If you transition, I'm in the community. I love it. I applaud it. These girls are freaking sickening. Let's be clear.
Right. Trans is
But
trans.
they're
You're a trans woman.
women. That's a whole experience that you have to identify with. You can't just say that you are a woman.
Why? And my whole thing is that why are the trans girls running away from the word trans? I mean, I know why. It's because they're some of them are, they don't want to be rejected. They don't want to be scrutinized. They don't want to be anything. So they want to erase the word trans from in front of their name, and they want to be called woman.
Let me stop you right there, Bryson, because no, they don't. Sometimes you got people like
it happens. It happens.
No, well, I'm gonna say this from what I noticed, that the trans women in the community, they do try to separate themselves, and the only
they think that they're hetero. They think that they're hetero
is because some women are clockable than others.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. That's disrespecting the experience. That's why people associate.
You said disrespecting the experience. What is that? What you said?
Absolutely. And
what's the experience
of transitioning?
There should be a trans person
because
present on the
you can have a person who don't.
But what does that have to do? What does that have to do with the rest of us? Why do we have to do with that?
I called JT.
What do we have to? What do we have to do with that? That's your experience.
No,
I didn't tell you to take testosterone.
Based off the thoughts.
No,
of you.
I'm not a trans person. But what I'm saying is, anybody who transitions, that's an experience. And if you are a person who transitioned and you are all the way done, all the way together, and non-clockable, it is disheartening and a backward step to then try to
Jasmine Lee, do you want to come up? Do you want to come up?
Who?
As a biological woman?
Wait. Who you asking to come up? Because I'm not trying to argue. I'm having a good conversation with all three, both of y'all. It's the first time that me and Harviana have got along.
I'm not identify as trans.
JT. Okay. JT. I thought it was
what do JT identify as?
Oh, she's a non-binary, one of those non-binary girls.
I don't get that. So maybe she can explain.
I don't get non-binary either. My whole thing with non-binary is
non-binary. Somebody define that.
I don't know, because when you want to fuck, who do you fuck? You fuck pussy or you fuck dick? Which one do you do?
Let me see.
I want to know. So if you fuck both, doesn't that mean you're bisexual?
That's bisexual.
Right. So what is non-binary? It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
And you know I love you, bro, but this is not it. Topics this big are best served having subject matter experts.
But no,
it doesn't matter.
No, child. No, whoever said that, child, just leave them alone.
Best practice. I love you, but the thing is, I think it's better served by people who live the experiences and have been friends and have had gay mothers and gay fathers, have done ballroom. I think that we are subject matter experts. We don't need scientists to tell us how our life is and exists. So
who are you talking about?
I'm responding to Jeff Patch's comment.
Oh, JT.
So I definitely think that we are the subject matter experts, because people who see me as an androgynous person oftentimes.
Thank you. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Harvard, can you repeat that again? Androgynous. You are what?
Androgynous persona.
Right. And can you explain what that means to people?
It's just being in touch with your feminine side. To me, it's a person who shows up into what society would identify as being female.
Both, right? You see yourself pretty, and you see yourself masculine at the same time, right?
Got you. I didn't know that.
What?
Okay, androgyny means that you are both male. You are both masculine and female. And Hervana can do both because she can switch out any day that she want. Whenever he or she can switch. Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong.
So listen. Escrow has a question for y'all. Do y'all believe trans women should be allowed in all women's spaces, i.e., sports, movies,
No.
Why?
No.
Do you like that?
Because a woman, the way that it goes now, a trans woman could easily say that they are a woman, and it, like especially with women's sports and women's spaces, I don't think that we have developed enough experience in this area to be able to allow trans women. We don't have enough information. We don't know how people work. We don't know how these I don't think that it's healthy. I'm not saying that a trans woman that identifies as a woman um it's a space where we need to execute them, like put them aside. But I'm trying to say that you have to give people that have been in existence for millions of years, you have to give them space and you have to give them time to figure out how they're going to accommodate you. Because now a trans person would be in the background.
Just
Now
like,
a trans person, hold on. A trans person now are in the front. Now we're talking about trans. Now we're talking about non-binary. Now we're talking about all of this. You have to give people time to process it. So it's not that we're against you. We just need to figure out how it's going to make it comfortable for not only you, but comfortable for us. And that's all I got to say.
So let's talk wows. Come up. I want Let's Talk Wows to come up. I want Just Patches to come up. Angela, you can come up because y'all.
Okay, just don't be disrespectful to me or Harviana or Aaron because we did not say anything disrespectful.
Did I say you said anything disrespectful, Bryson?
No. I included you. I'm talking about the people that are coming up now. I'm saying don't come up here trying to have a moment, argue, and all other kind of stuff.
This is the thing. You're putting it out there, but no, they're going to give their opinions, and I want everybody to come up and share their opinion. I
just don't want them to disrespect you two or come up here and disrespect us.
What I'm saying is, I don't want anybody to cut off anybody. Let them share their opinion. Do not cut them
all right.
off.
Well, what's their names again? I need to know so I can introduce them.
Yeah, because we having great energy. This is a great dialogue.
Yeah, this is great energy. This is great.
We're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep
even though Harviana, you drag me on your channel, but I still love you, girl.
We're gonna keep that good energy along. I want the women to come up here. If you are a woman, a biological woman, come up and share your opinion. I want you to come up and share your opinion.
Yes, I would love a biological woman to come up.
This is not a platform to attack your opinion. So I want the women to come up. Because if you're
who you got? What's her name?
Come up. I want y'all to come up.
Oh, they haven't requested yet. A biological woman hasn't requested yet.
The fuck?
I'm sorry. What?
No, Prophet's like, child, y'all not exactly the best people to speak on this topic because this ain't it. Nobody fucking cares about the fuck.
Well, this is the thing.
Are there no biological? Well, I mean, let's go from the trans woman. Let's get a trans woman to start, and we can.
Let me say this to Prophet's comment. It's so baffling.
Nobody is the best person to speak on the topic, but everybody talk. Everybody has an opinion about it. Right. This is where people get out what they say. I feel like, and this is what I don't like about certain things and certain I feel like people are allowed to say what they want to say. But I'm trying to build something that be like
a white scientist.
It has to be respectful. It has to be respectful. You have to have some type.
Oh, child, y'all on these comments are vicious. Like, how are y'all commenting like this?
It's just people have certain differences of opinion.
No, Aaron, I'm looking at these comments. They vicious. Like, why can't they come up?
Listen, wait, Bryson. If we all think the same, how does world ever going to like keep moving? If we all fucking think the same, like we.
Oh wait, who is that? Let's Talk Wild. Okay, who's that?
Let's Talk Wild is another content creator. Hey, Wow. So, let's go back to Escrow's comment.
Oh, hey, girl. Hey, girl. I remember you, girl. You was earlier.
This is Let's Talk Wild. Yeah, how are you, girl?
Oh.
Yeah, girl, get into it because this woman right here, y'all need to pay the women. Y'all need to pay attention to this woman right here because she has logic.
Okay.
And she's smart.
Okay. Yeah. So Escrow posed the question: do y'all believe trans women should be allowed in all women's spaces, i.e., sports, female leads in movies, and etc.? So, wow. You put, let's go to your comment. I'm fine with movies, but sports.
Come on, journalist.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Movies is like acting. You know, you're using your acting skills. I'm not worried about that. Like
no, but I still feel like
Bryson.
Yeah,
go ahead. Okay, all right. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead.
Like, to me, that's like, you know, impersonation or whatever. Maybe not impersonation. Exactly. They're really not impersonating, but they're acting. So, but I'm okay with movies. But like sports, no, because I just feel like you're born a man. You will always like I don't care. To me, you're just gonna always have an advantage over biological women, and I feel like it's not fair to the women, man. It's not fair. It's not right. Like it's not right.
And it's so true because Leah Thomas placed 450. Y'all have to understand that Leah Thomas placed 456 in the men division when they were competing. When they went with the women down, they went to number one. It's just, and all these women that have worked all their lives.
Yes,
to get to the Olympics.
So also let me say, what about the trans women that's still taking hormones? Because you know the hormones break their body down, make it more soft.
No, I just feel like trans people should have their own sports leagues.
Their own sport.
So what sports league would they have? What sports?
They would have the I don't know, the Trans Sports Association, something where all
like division.
Can I wait, hold on. Can I say something?
Trans Sports Association.
That's like
this is gonna seem like the most.
You don't have to say trans, but I feel like they can be, or they can be under like an umbrella, like under the umbrella of whatever other sports. They can be under that. Like, but I just feel like biological women, like Bryson said, they work so hard to get to where they get, and when
all their lives,
and to say,
you know how hard a woman will work to get to the Olympic level, to be compared, you know, to a man, like it to be compared to a man. And you know how hard they work. They work all their lives from high school to adulthood and everything of that. Here's what I'm going to say that may not be the popular opinion. If you identify as trans and you are from man to woman, I don't think that you should compete until they get a category. I don't think they should be able to compete at all. That's just me.
Can I just say this before we address all of that? It's the comments that are saying, because Chris T put up, we could definitely have these type of conversations, but they are more effective with people who live that experience. I'm an androgynous person, Bryson's gay, and then we got Aaron who's gay, and then you have Miss Lovely down here who is a
a female. She's a biological woman.
I'm a biological woman.
I'm sorry, not biological woman. She is a woman.
Yes, I'm a woman. However,
Thank you.
Hold on. I am bisexual. I'm married. I have a husband. However, I am bisexual.
No, baby, you just those are additional factors, but you are still a woman.
We have to let people talk.
Yes, I'm married.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I am bisexual, but I am a woman. All women, biological woman.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You're a biological woman and you're a bisexual woman.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and just like she made that distinction, she clearly identified what she identifies as and what she prefers. That's what I'm saying.
I have my nephew. Oh, I'm sorry, Harviana.
Don't make that a big issue. She just basically let me know she fuck men and she fuck women. I mean, that's not. She's still a woman.
I have my nephew.
I said she was a biological woman.
Bryson.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have my nephew here representing for the straight. I have a straight male in the building.
Hey.
He has kids, wife, everything. So he can definitely come up and share his experience or whatever. Or
well, bring him on. I would love for the straight
people. You guys, so let me bring him up.
I mean, because this conversation.
Everybody be respectful. I hope he's able to handle it down now. If he's gonna come on here and you expect us to
dialogue, and we had great dialogue on Instagram earlier.
Be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we're not gonna coddle just because it's your nephew, child.
Child, be respectful.
Bryson said, "Look, let's be clear."
Yeah, let's we're still gonna talk. I'm not gonna watch my words because your nephew on here, girl.
We have to let other people get out there. We have to let people speak. We cannot keep cutting them off.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So, child, they're paying me like legend, honey. I'm trying to get a trans representative over here.
I thought JT was coming. JT was not coming.
JT is literally paying me boots. I don't know why. Probably because she probably don't like Harvin. She probably.
You said she paying us boots.
She's paying me boots. I know that.
Oh, girl. Well, child. I mean, set it off as a paying the boots platform anyway. So.
Not bad. Hey, everybody, welcome. My nephew.
What's going on?
I mean, you got that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Like, I mean, if she don't want to come, she don't want to come. Like, that's, girl, we're not affected. I mean, do y'all feel affected that JC don't? Right, exactly. Like, that's what I said. Girl, what? I'm still. Y'all trying to make me seem like I'm the mean one. Y'all don't say shit. Y'all still all three of y'all on here. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about JT. I like JT, but girl, I'm Bryce B. Lemmy Jenkins. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god.
So Aaron, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Who is that with this voice?
Oh my god.
What's up, Hey everybody, I'm Vito.
Oh, he's the wine and the pot. Oh, he's got a pot. He's got a whole thing. Hey,
yeah, I have a whole podcast.
So, how do you feel about the conversation that's been here?
Right.
Just being brought into the conversation. If somebody can catch me up, I would appreciate it.
So you wasn't paying attention.
So no, I just called him over here because
Jesus
one another opinion. What?
Run it down.
He wasn't. I thought he came on here to give his opinion, and he don't know nothing about.
I to give his opinion. I haven't told him what is going on yet. Relax.
Run it down, Aaron, real quick.
God damn. Anyway, so nephew. So this is a conversation. It was the question was posed by Harviana. Should the T in LGBTQ be removed due to it solely being about identity rather than sexuality? And then it was going on. We're trying to get trans representative over here, but we really want to know your opinion on should the T be removed from LGBT. Let's talk about that. Do you feel like the T should be removed due to it being about?
Well, we need to ask him, do he identify as a man? According to the
Yes,
new
I
generation.
do. I do identify as a man, a heterosexual man.
Go ahead, nephew.
I'm sorry, I'm just being messy. Go ahead.
When it comes down to I'm kind of torn, but I kind of feel like if you don't identify in that community, it's kind of like how I look at when white people they comment on black issues. I think that they shouldn't, because they're not a part of that community. And for me to comment on the LGBTQ community would be, it could lend to some disservice or some it wouldn't be authentic. I can have my personal opinions. I was actually about to speak about topic. My girlfriend, we were thinking about putting a topic on our podcast about the LGBT, that the letters there, and why is if people say there's more than one gender, why is B in there? Because B, right, it says bi.
Bye.
Sir, you sound like I'm sorry. You sound like you said a whole bunch of bullshit. I don't know what the fuck you was talking about. But
Bryson.
You good? Bryson, if you don't stop.
Bryson, chill.
Because you would literally get booted.
You being rude, Bryson, too. We having a good conversation.
Relax, because you really get into you really.
I don't know what Aaron asked you a specific question.
And he answered.
He's answering. Let him answer.
And that was not an answer.
It's not an answer to you. It's his answer.
All right. Okay.
You good, Neff?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm here, but it was cutting in and out.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys go ahead. That's all I had to say for right now.
So let me ask you, nephew. What do you feel about trans women in sports? Like, how you feel about?
All right. Well, now here we have something I can actually speak about.
Because you know sports, so that's why I pose the question.
Yeah. So I do believe that it is unfair. It's unfair for let me get the terminology correct, cisgendered women to have to compete against trans women in sports. We all know there is inherent differences in our actual biological makeup between men and women. And we're talking about just straight, like, physical bone density, lung capacity. I was just talking about the trans woman swimmer that was competing and was breaking records, and she just recently lost for the first time to a cisgender woman, and but yeah, it's I don't think it's fair. If I sit back, I just want to I make this comparison. If I say that if Mike Tyson right now decides that he wants to identify as trans and goes and says, I'm going to fight right now, how many do you think it will be? How many people here thinks it will be fair for him to fight women, a cisgender woman?
Exactly.
Just so that he can have the accolade and the award.
But then it's the same thing. It's the same exact concept in that sense. It's like if LeBron James said, I now identify as trans, and now I identify as a woman, and I'm going to go to the WNBA and become the most scoring athlete in the league. It would not be fair.
So do you think that goes for trans men as well if they go into the NBA?
So the one thing that we've seen, and this is just going by what's out here. you don't see trans men going into sports that cisgendered men are in.
Thank you.
Like there are when it comes down the opposite. There are more
They
trans
don't deal with
women.
it.
They don't.
But what if
But
it
because they
was?
know,
But what if
they
there
I think
was?
they believe that they inherently know that they cannot compete at that level.
Exactly.
Someone said there was a trans person that was talking.
Oh, I like this man, honey.
There was a young lady that said, well, a woman is a woman if she identifies as a woman, and that would be that. And women can do everything. And they mentioned Serena Williams, saying that she's the best tennis
True.
player in the world. And Serena Williams herself said, "Hey, I would get
She
demolished."
would
But
get her ass beat by.
she actually played the number 200th ranked man in the world and lost 6-0, 6-0. And so she said the games are different. Just taking every bit of a sport and playing it against a man versus a woman, 90% of the time that man is going, unless you're going at.
You good?
Oh my God, where he go? Where he go?
Right here. He's right here.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
Bryson,
Hello?
calm
Can you
your
hear me?
pants.
Huh?
Yeah. So yeah,
Yes.
that's all I'm saying.
Oh.
It's just disingenuous to sit back for to allow someone to compete in the same sport. I think gender should be. Sports should be separated by male, female, and then that's it. If you decide that you
Biology.
want biology, yes.
Biology.
If you want
Yes.
to compete, if you want to transition to another sex, that's all fine. But you still should be made to compete in what you were born as, and that's just straight that way. That's just my opinion.
And we appreciate your opinion, as well as your voice too. It's very nice.
Oh, geez,
All right, calm your penis down.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Damn it.
Girl,
another
my
question.
pussy not wet. I was just saying that his voice sounds fine.
Relax. Another question I want to pose to my nephew. There has been this heavy conversation about trans women and biological women. And recently there was a video of a trans woman saying that
they don't
women
own
are
it.
not the gatekeepers of menstrual cycles or
Yeah,
Insane.
I saw that video.
Insane.
I think it's complete and utter bullshit.
Insane.
Listen,
A troll.
Thank you.
Can I
Wanted a viral moment.
listen?
Wait. Hold on. Go ahead. Go. Okay. Well. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be quiet.
I think that video was complete and utter bullshit. There are things you cannot.
Exactly.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no gatekeeping the menstrual cycle. There's no such thing as a gate. Either you have one or you don't. Either you can't. You're born and you're able to have one.
Black and white.
Literally.
There's no gatekeeping that. We're not talking about a gatekeeping resume to a job or something. No, it does not. It does not work like that. I think that that person just wanted to enrage people, and so they got their 10 minutes of fame. But I think that everyone should have ignored. I really think people should have ignored that person just as much as they're going to start to
Well, can I say something? Can I say something, please? Just to interrupt you, I'm gonna tell you how I was on. I mentioned this. I was on TikTok, right? And I saw this video, and there were people responding to this, and I just thought that it was like, oh, okay, well, I know that people are just gonna like. I didn't think it was gonna go viral, and then there were people there were trans women that were going up under the comments that, oh, I got my period. Oh, me too. It was like, it's, and this is what I'm talking about. When we allow people to be under our delusion, it's dangerous. It's mentally dangerous for people. They really believe a trans woman will really believe. And I would hate if my nephew Well,
we have to stop, and what we also got to do, we got to stop generalizing like the whole community, because this was one.
It's not the whole community, Aaron. It's just because we can't not. You can't say generalizing because if the narrative is out there.
It was one trans woman that said
no, it's not. No. No, Aaron. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Even if this one trans woman that posted this video, you're trying to say that's a marginalized whatever, but it went viral. For some reason, it went viral, and now it makes trans people that are trans men that are now feeling like, I'm empowered. I can get periods too. It's weird. I came across a TikTok video where the woman said, "Oh my God, I experienced my first period." It had 436 not million, 436,000 likes, saying that they got a period.
Who got a period?
Come on, Aaron. Come on. What, you didn't have a period?
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm saying. It's this generation of the internet. You keep allowing people to go into a delusion. It's dangerous for our children, for our next generation, the people who want to build up.
No one cared about that lady until Just responded.
And like
yes,
I said,
but it's still spreading. It doesn't matter. It's still spreading. If we don't say that that's not possible, and if we keep getting people that's trying to say, "Oh, don't say that women don't," we need to let them be reassured.
All right, but like I said earlier, I didn't want Jess really to respond to it. However, Jess is a biological woman, and the person was talking about women. So if Jess wanted to respond, she could do that, because you know what? It was put out in the internet for people to digest and talk about. So she could talk about it as well. Period, and that's just what it is. How you gonna sit here and say do you feel like she wanted to talk about it? She can. It was directed towards biological women. She's a biological woman, and she wanted to respond to it. So what? It was already put out there on the internet. She could say what she wanted to say.
About T.S. Madison though, because we keep using her as a point of reference. First of all, T.S. Madison.
Why are we having this conversation? Hold on, trans men can have periods.
No, we don't even talking about no damn period.
Trans women can have periods.
Hold on. Bryson, you're not the only one up here. You have to let people speak.
Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. You're right.
Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is T.S. Madison does trans people a disservice when she says stuff like she got titties at the top and you know what at the bottom, because that confuses people.
Is that not a trans? Is that not a trans woman?
They say that it's a trans woman, but then you got other trans people like Carmen Carrera who really feels like they were born women and don't really even identify as
that's
trans.
Their business though.
But no. That's why people associated with a mental illness.
Why do I have to accept her reality? Why are you forcing me, trying to make me force her reality?
Because the facts are the facts.
The facts that she was a man and she was born as a man and she wanted to be a woman.
Oh my gosh, Bryson.
No, you said the facts are the facts. That's what the facts are. Is that not the fact? Carmen Carrera, I'm very familiar with Carmen Carrera. She is a man, and she decided that she wanted to transition as a woman. She felt, and then she decided. Why are you denying that? Why are you denying that?
Listen, we have to respect people and let.
I'm not denying anything. That's why I feel like the trans stuff is really associated. It's a psyche type thing.
It's not really that sensitive. It's if you just really take it for what it is. You decided that you're one gender and you want to present as another. I don't understand why it's so difficult.
Okay, so Scotty, you up here. So Scott, we have Scotty up here. Scotty, what are your thoughts on the matter, on all of this?
Well, I am a person that is not fully understanding of transgender or whatever. I'm still learning it, but I do think that the main thing that it comes down to is a respect factor, as I said in the chat.
Respect, not biological or scientific.
It's a respect factor. I feel like if a woman doesn't want to be, if a woman says that she doesn't want to be called cisgendered or whatever, then we have to respect that. We have to respect the fact that she doesn't want to be called that, regardless of what the scientific thing is. They most natural born women don't like to be called cisgender, so I don't call them that. Also, if a trans woman wants to be identified as a woman, or the pronouns being her, she, whatever, then we should respect that. It's a respect factor on both ends, in my opinion. So that's really what it boils down to. And I keep hearing.
I agree with Scotty. That's exactly what I'm saying.
And I keep hearing, whenever this conversation comes up, people say that I guess the trans community is forcing their beliefs on other people, but I don't necessarily feel like it's a force. No one is forcing anybody to believe in anything. Nobody is forcing anybody to accept anything. You don't have to like what they are, but you have to respect what they are. And I feel like that's what.
Have you watched Fox programming, Scotty?
No, I haven't.
Have you watched ABC programming, Scotty? There's a program called Transformers, which basically is like Transformers or whatever. And there was one episode where they had the young girl, and she was with the Transformer, and then they would ask them, the robot asked them, the young girl asked them, well, what are your pronouns? And the robot responded, I don't know what you mean. And they was like, well, I'm this and I'm that. And you don't think that's an agenda?
I don't think that's an agenda. Like, people are allowed to, identify themselves as
but I learned ABCs and I learned 1, 2, 3s because I was shown it.
Okay, but what does another person's identity have to do with you?
What it has to do with me, if I'm shown something that's showing me a new education or giving me outside of what, if I'm in first or second grade and I'm learning ABCs and 1, 2, 3, and then you're making me question my gender, and you're saying you're non-binary.
Can I say something? Can I say something really?
You can say something.
Yeah, you can say something. Please say something.
Okay, so I'm speaking for my husband, because me and my husband had the conversation again earlier, and this is what he said. He's a straight black man. He said that he feels as though, when we were younger, we weren't getting asked and taught about being trans and all of that stuff. He said that, and this is one of the reasons, not one of the reasons why, but America.
Because we weren't being taught. We were just being told.
Let her finish.
Bryson, if you interrupt again, I'm sorry.
I said I'm sorry. Goddamn.
Damn, come on now. It's the second time.
It's just been so emotional with this, so it's just a lot. So I'm sorry, y'all, But yeah, so he said basically like we understand like you want to teach children that stuff, but not like in elementary school and all of that stuff. Like he said, you know, American children, American kids are behind the rest of the kids around the world. They barely passing tests and learning math and stuff, and y'all worrying about teaching them about if they're in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and you're talking about, well, do you know what trans is and all of that? That should not be a focus when they're that young. That should not be a focus. When they get middle school, I'm like all for it, whatever, you know. But elementary school, my husband was just like it just doesn't make sense to him, because it's like
my nephew was
these kids are
9.
behind all of these children. TikTok is, you know, killing the generation of kids. All the kids in a classroom talking about they want to be influencers. They isn't like
you laugh, but it's serious.
I mean, I
like
get
this
you.
is what's really happening
I told
right
my
now.
oldest, listen, I told my oldest daughter, my oldest daughter is 13, and I have a 1-year-old. I told my 13-year-old, I said, when you get older, when you in your 20s and in your 30s, your generation ain't gonna have no doctors. Your generation ain't gonna have none of that. Y'all gonna have nothing but influencers and all this other stuff. But I'm just like, I understood what my husband was saying earlier. He's like, listen, elementary school, you shouldn't be that. They are, you know, trying to teach that to children, and that's just the facts. That's just the facts. But it's like they need to be learning they 1, 2, 3s and the ABCs, not questioning a first grader, a second grader, if you know they know what trans is and all of that. Like, we're okay. I told him, like, I'm okay with, you know, children knowing like, hey, Billy may have you know, a dad, that's fine. But getting into all of that, oh, do you know what trans is? You don't need to get into all of that while they're so young. Just let them just teach them like, hey, you have a mom and dad, but you know, Darius might got 2 dads, and that's okay. But going into depth about like transition and all that, that's not cool for them at that young age.
But let me ask you this then.
I'm done.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this then. Are you going to be, you know, you said somebody about having 2 dads, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you was also saying something about transitioning. I think that what was problematic for me is that y'all are making them as though they're the same, and they're not. Because in science and learning, you'll learn about chromosomes, and people can be born with XX or super X, as they call it, chromosome, which is what comes across as hermaphrodites and stuff like that. So that is stuff that you really learn in biology. So I think transgender can kind of be a topic, but as far as gay, that's a sexual preference. That's nothing that really is taught. So I don't think that correlating the two is appropriate in school. I don't, because sexual then sexualize your child, because you're talking about a sexual preference, gay, lesbian, bi, which is why I say that they should not be in the same organization as far as LGBT.
Well, and here's not to that point though. Here's the thing: when it comes to LGBT, and the trans people being part of our community, here's why. And one of my friends put this to me very well.
Hi, Angela.
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing wonderful. Hello, beautiful people. How we doing? Angela. One of my friends put it to me this way. She is a trans woman, and she said, "Now, Angela, if any man is with me, and everybody knows that I'm trans, they're immediately thinking that he's not straight. They immediately assume that he must be a part of the community because he's with a trans woman. And because he will be treated like that in his everyday life by all the people who know he has a trans girlfriend, we're going to go ahead and take you in our community too, because everybody else is already going to nix you." Because the reality is, a lot of straight people believe that straight men who get with trans women, whether they have had surgeries or whatever have you, they believe them still to be gay. So therefore, we're not just going to nix nobody who's trying to love on somebody in our community. That's a little
You know.
But the thing that I don't understand is when people call this.
But the thing is, you're saying.
Hold on, Harvey. He was talking.
Huh?
Scotty was talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, y'all just gonna keep cutting me off all damn night. But no, what I was saying was, what I don't understand is when people say,
"Hello,"
it's an agenda, and I don't get what the hell what the hell people mean by. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us, but I can hear you.
Oh, somebody's else down there.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't understand why people.
Oh, Bryson.
Bryson.
Oh, gotta mute that.
Here we go. I'm muted.
Okay, yeah, but what I don't get is when people call it, like, when people say stuff about like the gay agenda. What the fuck is the agenda? Like, what do they have? What do people have?
That is
what the fuck?
I'll explain it for you if you would like.
Hold on. You gotta before you do that. You gotta give it an echo.
Bryson, he's explaining it. Go ahead.
I do feel like it's certain agendas that are definitely being pushed, like this whole agenda with the trans women versus black women. I'm starting to see a pattern.
But what
I don't like it.
But what I'm saying, what I mean by agenda is, if you see like a loving gay couple on TV, we're pushing it on kids, as if we haven't been seeing people kissing on TV for many, many years.
Correct.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
straight people kissing on TV for years.
It doesn't matter if it's straight or not. We have seen it. It's all.
Hardy, if you want me to explain it to you, I can definitely explain it.
You have to take care of your echo because I cannot hear.
Put your echo, Bryson. Put your echo.
My God.
But like I was saying, I don't understand the whole agenda thing because it's all sexualizing. Like, I mean,
1 second,
to me, is like when you see a gay couple on TV, they could just be holding hands, and that's a fucking problem. Oh, y'all trying to force this on the kids, but I feel like about that. Yeah, I feel like that's stupid.
That's not
I think personally, people use that phrase agenda. It's become one of those hot topic words. It's become one of those button pressing words that when somebody says it, it has this now negative connotation. There is no agenda in terms of gay people or trans people being seen. I do wholeheartedly believe somebody somewhere is pulling some strings for this whole cisgender conversation to be so blown up, because the reality is this is no shade. They want to cause a conversation.
Yeah, they want to cause a division.
Because here's the thing: one, nobody is using the term cisgender in casual conversation. I'm not walking up to any of my friends using these terms. The only time I'm using these terms are when I am in LGBT safe spaces where we have to differentiate for one reason or another. And
that's what I said earlier, Angela.
And typically when I'm saying those things, I'm not even talking to cisgender women about it. I'm talking to my trans friends when they're telling me about their experience and the difference between them and a natural born woman. That's the only time we ever use those terms. I have never walked up to any woman and asked her if she was cis or not. Now, if a cisgender woman takes herself into an LGBT space, i.e., if a woman walks up into the Bulldogs,
right,
do not be offended if somebody has to ask you what is given, because you are now in our space. You are in our space where we get to live and be comfortable.
I agree.
So if you come into our space, you have to abide by the fact that there are things that are said. This is the underground community at the end of the day. The LGBT community is very underground. We've had a lot of verbiage, a lot of words, a lot of terms and phrases that we use that we didn't have for the rest of the world to be a part of. Now the rest of the world wants what we got. They want us to be a part of it. But now they see the things that they don't like it, and it's a problem for them. So do I use the term cis like that with any woman in general? No, I've never walked up to a woman and referred to her as cis outside of a scientific conversation. But if a woman ever says they don't want to hear that from me, I'm just not going to call you that. It's not that
big deal. It's right.
That's why I was saying, like, why is this a big deal? It shouldn't be a big deal. However, like I said, if it was going, the conversation was going, biological women, if they want to respond to it and say what they want to say, they have the right to, because the conversation started off, what, you guys don't gatekeep periods and all of that. So if biological women want to be open and express express, we want to express ourselves, then we should be able to. And I just want to say thank you, Aaron, for hosting that Instagram live earlier, because like I said, I was really emotional about this. So I just felt like a safe place for me to express myself, and I appreciate you for that.
I didn't know he did no line.
That's
He only
amazing.
using his platform for good reasons,
Scotty.
honey, and not
But
just
also with that agenda word.
Yeah, Scotty, don't try it.
The agenda word that people are saying, like there's no agenda. I do feel like it is an agenda to press certain issues. And I do think that being gay is one of them. Like how they're now trying to say like characters that we grown up to just love because they're the character. Now they're saying like people like Arthur is gay, and they're putting gay characters.
Now did the actual writer of the
they said Velma from Scooby Doo is a lesbian.
Wait, I want everybody to welcome Philly Scorpio.
What's
going on?
Hello.
Hey.
Wait, let's ask, what are your pronouns?
Hello.
Well, if you hear my voice, I'm a grown ass man.
Period. All right.
But basically, I just wanted to jump on the agenda topic. I think the agenda topic is bullshit, because if that was the case, I feel like I was born gay. I never came out the womb. Ever since the day I seen females or males, I was never sexually attracted to females.
Period.
I had my first girlfriend because I felt like that was the quote unquote norm, because I was a boy. So I had my first girlfriend. But I feel like the agenda thing is bullshit, because that was the case if much as I seen guys and girls kissed on TV all my life growing up, I'd have been straight. So I feel like the agenda thing, bullshit. I feel like the agenda with the gay thing now on TV to the day that people speak of is bullshit, because if that was the case, then if I was never born gay, if I was never attracted to a gay man, I don't care what I see on TV. That doesn't make me want to go out and want to kiss a man or a woman.
I think
I don't care. I don't care what I see. I don't care what my friends do. I don't care what my family do. Hell, I seen my mom and my stepdad. My mom and my dad was never together since I've been born. I always had my stepdad, but I never, just because I seen them be so lovey-dovey, that never made me want to go out and go get a girlfriend.
Right.
To perpetrate what was in my household. I was born gay, but I'm a man that I played double dutch. I taught all the girls in my neighborhood how to play double dutch. I braided hair, but I also was a rough ass boy. Like I didn't mind going out there and playing football with the boys either. So
because you wanted to fill on their asses. Let's be real.
Well, you can say that. You can say that, but at the same time, I was just a rough ass little boy from North Philly.
Because you from Philly. That's
the Philly accent for me.
Yeah, it's something about the Philly niggas for me.
And
Lord,
Philly niggas is.
No real shit. No real shit. That's just who I was. But at the same time, I was a nigga that I used to play football with the niggas, and they go to their sister, go in the house and break their sister hair. Like that's just who the fuck I was. I taught all these little sisters how to jump double dutch, and then I go out there and throw football with them. That's just who I was. Like I this shit that they say a quote unquote agenda, I don't believe in it, because if that was the case, then I have a whole wife and kids by now, and I got a whole nigga that I've been with for 3 years.
I have a question for you, Javiana.
Wait, before that question,
okay, go ahead.
Angela, I just want to ask Philly about the topic. Now, let me ask you, should T in LGBTQ be removed due to it solely being about identity rather than sexuality?
Oh, shit, you put me on the spot. But if I got to be 100% honest, I say yes.
Absolutely.
Why?
I would say yes. And the reason why I would say yes, because agreeing to what everybody else say. Lesbian, gay, and bisexual, that's what you like. Transgender is who you are. That's two different things.
Point of information, everybody did not say that.
Well, majority from what I heard earlier, not on this live, but what I heard earlier. I'm a gay man, but I never wanted to be a girl. Ever. Never wanted to be a girl, never thought about being a girl, never played the makeup, never wore girl stuff, anything. But at the same time, I'm a gay man. I love men. It's just who I am. But I never wanted to be transgender. Transgender is that would be who you are.
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's
that's my opinion.
Okay.
So we start this, we gotta make it make sense. If you identify, we identify as male, female. That's what it's been. And now we are introducing, not more publicly now, trans. Okay, male, female, trans. That's where that belongs. But when we are saying what our preferences are, then we have it's just like if they ask you what your race is, you're saying African American or black. I mean, yeah, what is it? Black, white, or whatever, and then you can say your ethnicity is African American. You got to differentiate the two. Yeah, you prefer being gay or bi or whatever, but how you identify it as a male or female or trans, there's a difference. Mm-hmm. We got to respect that difference because that's just what it is. One is an identity and one is a sexual preference.
So I have a quick question. So that means so how can we get into the situation when it comes to trans women or trans men? Because I know some trans men that only want to date females, but they consider themselves straight, and I know some trans females that only want to date men, and they consider themselves straight. But if they came from if they came from the opposite sex, is that not gay?
If they come from the opposite sex?
I really want to hear y'all answer to this.
That's a
my answer
question.
To that
I really
would simply be that is why people are confused with transgenders now. Because it is a mental situation.
Which is exactly why they belong in our community, because people look at what people do when they sleep with them as off, different, or weird, like they do with us gay people. No, it's not that it's a problem. But I don't think it's a problem. Other people see it that way, is what I'm saying. Yeah, but that goes back into Aaron's general question. Should T be taken out of LGBT? Because if you ask me, I'm the G in LBGT.
You about to say OBGYN? What?
Yeah, I was. Scotty, at this point, it's so many letters. I'm confused. The alphabet it's so many letters. It's confusing at this point. When I grew up, only lesbian.
Hey, Dr. T.
And gays.
Yes. Hi.
It's
how are
so
you?
many letters now. Then you got the P, the E's, the S's. It's a lot.
This is a wonderful conversation.
It's a lot of letters nowadays.
Okay,
it's so
hold on. I'll introduce you in a minute, Dr. T. So So everybody, we have Dr. T in the building.
Hey, guys.
We would like to chat about this amazing conversation. So
hi.
Hey,
how you doing?
Hello.
How are you?
Are you a real doctor?
Seeing you. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. This is
what I'm
this conversation, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's like at this particular point, I think it's just so exhausting because, like, you know, things are being brought back up to the surface, and then it's just like this is something that's constantly been going on, and then it's coming to the surface in a negative light. So I'll give you guys my opinion, my take on everything, if you guys don't mind.
Okay, no problem. But before you go into your opinion, what are your pronouns? What do you identify as?
My pronouns are she, her, and of course I'm a transgender woman.
Okay. All right, we have a transgender woman on the panel.
Period. Am I the only one?
You are welcome. So
you are the only one.
This is the floor. Speak.
Wow. Okay.
This is your floor.
All right.
I'm glad you're here, though, baby.
I'm glad you're here too. No shade.
Yes, give us that representation, honey.
Yeah, right, baby. You know I came through. And you know what I find is also it's really hard when it comes to representation, because sometimes people I notice will take the one negative take on something, and they'll make that the take of many. And that's not the take of many. We're not a binary, just like a black man. If you see a black man getting shot, if you see a black man selling drugs on the corner, right? And you go out and you record him and say, see, this is what all these black men are doing. That's not, black men are not a monolith. Black women are not a monolith. And everybody else is not a monolith. So I just want to first say that for one. Because yes, you might see a take of somebody saying, oh, well, I feel like this. And, I feel like this is, we shouldn't say this, or we shouldn't say that, or we shouldn't. That's just, to me, I feel like everyone has their own opinions and takes, but I'll tell you something. Overall, can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can still hear you.
Overall, still being like a black trans person in this, a black woman in this community, most Black people, most of the Black girls, we're not over here trying to compete. Like, I don't know where this narrative
Right.
comes 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 along to. You get one person, because you're always going to have extremists in any group, in anything. You're always going to have extremists. So what happens is you'll take the one extremist and you'll say, oh, this is the opinion of all. And it's like, no, that's not the opinion of all. I raised my sisters, baby. My mother did drugs, and my father was a drug dealer. And I raised two sisters, both of them now. One is in the medical field; she's a doctor. And they have never ever heard me disrespect them. They have never ever heard me call them out their name. They have never ever heard me disrespect any friends. I don't disrespect any of my friends, no matter who they are, color, gender, whatever they are. I don't disrespect people. So it's just like, I don't understand where this narrative is coming along, that there's some kind of like attack on Black women. That's so not true. And in all the girlfriends that I know that are trans, black, let me say that, Black girls, that is not true of us. We don't go around being like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, we're trying, what was the, what was said? Oh yeah. They don't own period. Of course we know biology, trans women can have periods. That's just, I don't understand who don't know that, and why somebody would even think to say that, what was being said. I think what went over people's heads is they were talking about trans men. Now, the delivery that she said, I get it. The delivery was terrible. And I don't agree with that person, that TikTok that started this whole conversation back up. I don't agree with that person on the way and the battling. But you're going to have people like that. You're going to have people. But that is not the opinion of many. And I see everybody's attacking all these people, these different trans people, because they're like, oh, you know what I mean? That's because y'all want to be and it's almost a thing of like, you're trying to oppress somebody. Like, you're trying to say, well, you're under me. You need to know that you want to be. And it's like, as far as I've always known, I've always adored my mother. I've never tried to compete with my mother. I've never tried to compete with my sisters. But at the same time, I'm not going to be sitting around and let somebody tell me that I'm under them or beneath them. At the end of the day,
I have a question. So you feel as though you guys are being attacked?
I feel like there is an attack, and I feel like everybody's coming up with these ideals that there's some agenda. There's no agenda. Let me tell you.
Okay, so hold on. So as a biological woman, I'm letting you know that we feel attacked. So you guys feel attacked, we feel attacked as well, because all I was hearing was, biological women, y'all just jealous of trans women. Y'all jealous. Y'all mad because we could take your men. Like, it's
but see, like I just said, like, what's your name? I'm sorry. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Wild. You could just call me Wild.
Okay, Wild. Okay. So, like I was just telling you, that's not the opinion of most. Do you know any Black girls, like Black? I call them the girls. Do you know any of the girls in real life? And that's what they tell you.
What?
They tell you stuff like that.
No, they're not telling me stuff like that. But
see what I'm saying? So that's
no, but it's been
that's a narrative that's
for the
not
past
true.
for the past couple of months. It's been these just conversations, these topics that keep popping up. First, it was the let's identify women as what is it, a child birthing person or something. That
but
was
no Black.
that was a couple of months ago.
I'm gonna say this. Those are things that white people like, and y'all have to differentiate the white kids.
Okay, I understand that.
From the Black people. The Black kids, we do not say so. We're not. I've never called my sister a birthday person. I don't understand where that narrative is coming from. Because I have never ever said that to my sister.
No, but I see Black people online. But I see Black trans people online attacking biological
what happens? Listen. If you actually type in, I can send y'all or post up on my, if I need to, many different girls online that are saying exactly what I'm saying. But what happens is, you see one bad thing, and that is the poster child of the whole community. And it's like, you see one or two, but it's going to be some people that have some extremist views. But that is not the view of the whole community. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's the whole community.
Let me interject right here. Let me interject for a quick second. I have to, let me come in and just speak to this. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why you probably feel attacked is because when one person who is a trans woman, I don't know, she's a trans woman, she says, made a video about this topic and Just Hilarious responded, she generalized all trans women. She made it a point to project her nasty, her rhetoric onto all trans women. And that's why some trans women hit back at her, because you literally generalize all trans women in one trans woman statement.
Correct. I agree with that.
Trans women feels like that.
I agree.
Definitely,
I think this whole conversation.
Not, and another thing
they do not feel like that.
Another
yeah, and that's just and that's on the biological women's side as well. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street.
Wait, let's talk. Can I offer this real quick?
Most of us girls, we stand in y'all corner. When something happens,
so we stand in y'all. Do you know? When I did that live with Aaron earlier, people was in the comments talking about trying to gaslight me. Keep talking about, well, you biological women this, you biological women that. Y'all in the comments talking about us. Y'all doing all this, and I'm just like, listen. The entire community does biological, whatever, female, male, trans, whatever. It doesn't matter. We all have room for improvement, and we all got some things that we need to work out, and especially in the Black community.
Yeah, I want to say this. I want to say this is another thing, right? It's like soon as one person, you have to realize Just Hilarious has a big platform.
Correct.
She has a big platform. So then she highlighted this one person that jumped off the roof, and now you think everybody want to jump. I don't, like I said, and you just told me your friends don't feel that way either. So that kind of makes me look like, okay, so if you don't really know nobody, it's like watching TV and then they telling you this and this is going on, but then when you look around, none of the people you know are doing this, but you still believe what's going on TV. Social media right now is ridiculous, and the things that are going on is ridiculous. It's a lot of things that are being propaganda being spread around to be divisive and to spread apart, to break us apart. Because if they break us apart, we can't be a unit. And us as Black people needs to be a unit. A lot of us don't do reading as well. As long as since the beginning of time, there's always been people of different binary. It's even in Africa. People don't know this, but even in Africa, in every single culture. So this whole thing that this is new, that is really,
it's not
like
new.
I don't think it's new. I just don't want to be attacked for voicing how I feel as a biological woman, and just get attacked and get gaslit when I'm just trying to like get some understanding.
You should never be attacked for.
But can I say this though?
Yeah,
but can I say this? I don't. But can I say this?
Wait, hold on. I had a.
Let Angela.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Angela.
So with this situation, what I really feel like and what I saw happen was this lady who is known for making sensationalized comments on the internet for likes and views, made another sensationalized comment for likes and views. Just responded, which I have no problem with Just Hilarious responding to her. This is the problem I have with people not putting a name on things. This is where I get tired of people saying, "Oh, we're not gonna say their name for X, Y, and Z reason." Just Hilarious should have said that lady's name and made her attack on that lady direct. Because had Just Hilarious just disrespected the one lady for what she said to her, I really wouldn't care. I wouldn't have gave a fuck about this whole conversation because it was the two of them talking. But because Jess, who has this massive platform with so many people, responded the way she did, which, whatever, because she, with her massive platform, did it, it blew up into something that should have been between two people. Now, do I understand Jess's feelings in that moment? Sure, whatever. Like, you feel how you feel. You can feel however you want to feel, but the way she attacked trans women altogether was unacceptable. She should have attacked that one lady.
I'm not the domino effect of Tasha K and T.S. Madison. You have that domino effect, and you see, and it was once cool, and now
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You wait. You just said T.S. Madison. What did you see T.S. Madison say?
Well, before
what I'm saying is domino effect. You have T.S. Madison who was trying to understand, and she understood where Jess was coming from.
She did. Yeah, they would have still took the situation, even if Jess would have directly talked.
But you have T.S. You have Tasha K, who is disrespecting, and because it's now not a conversation, it's now an attack. Now you're attacking T.S. Madison, and now you're attacking all other trans women.
But let me say that. Let me just speak on that, attacking every trans.
But that's another live. Okay, and that was another live, and I can still say what I want.
It was generalized.
No, you have the right to say what you want. Nobody ever can take your right. Everybody has a right to.
But the thing about it is, everybody keeps saying that, because she should have put a name on it. Do we put a name on it when we talk about white oppression? Do we just talk about the white racist people, or do we generalize it? We oftentimes generalize a lot of things.
Exactly, Harvey.
All the time. So it doesn't matter.
I talk about things directly for me personally.
If she put a name on it or not, it doesn't matter. She said
it would have still blew up. It would have still blew up, even if she would have directly said something to the girl. It would have still blew up into what it is.
Still blew up. If Nicki Minaj was to go and say to a gay fan and call them the F word that nobody wants to hear, they will still, even though she's talking and tweets the exact fan, they're gonna still say Nicki Minaj doesn't like gay people. She said they're gonna still make it a big thing. So just
you know what?
But I feel like it would have been. I'm sorry.
It looks it looks better on your character when you can be like, listen, this person did this, and I got smoke with this person, instead of being like, that's what all y'all are doing.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. I'm not saying that she does not have the right. I'm not saying that she does not have the right to feel the way
we gotta be respectful, y'all. We gotta be respectful. One person is talking. Who was talking first?
Philly Scorpio.
Let Philly go ahead.
Can I say this real fast? I feel like, let's be very clear, even within the LGBTQ community, everybody is separated. The gays don't play with the lesbians play with the gays, the bisexuals do their own thing, and the transsexuals do their own thing. And then,
I have to be honest, the gay community is very segregated. No shade.
Yes, we're very segregated. We very segregated. And then if you want to add an extra letter, because they always add extra letters, they'll put the H on it with the heterosexuals. We don't really, everybody play with their own party. So I feel like even if she didn't put a name on it, everybody knew who she was talking to.
Exactly. Come on, man. Exactly. Come on. Stop playing.
She didn't have to personally put a name, but she didn't.
Come on.
My thing is, hold up. My thing is, she didn't have to put a name on it. But let's be very clear. Because even when people talk about the gays, when y'all don't put a name on it, y'all still put all of us in that circle. The masculine gays, the feminine gays, the androgynous gays. Y'all put all the gays in the circles. Just like when you talk about the lesbians, you put all of them in the circles. You talk about bisexuals, all of them in the circles. It's just how it goes. So I feel like, yes, I agree that Jess maybe should have put a name on it, but at the same time, I don't feel like Jess she really got that backlash that she got as if she was talking about all transgenders, because everybody knew who she was talking to.
Talking about, come on.
Everybody knew who she was talking to.
And the thing is,
hold on. The thing is, right? It's like Jess has sat down with Laverne Cox. She was on Breakfast Club, and she said that she had a problem. The issue stemmed from her actually being mistaken for being called trans herself. That was the first issue. That's one of the issues that she said. She said she feels like it's this that she's had been called that, and not necessarily by the girls. Let's say like by guys. So it's like, okay, you're already mad about that. Okay, we understand you're mad about that. So she go on there and she's like talking to her, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you got clarity a little bit. Seems like you got clarity. And then, she's had talks with other people. So we thinking, oh, she got clarity. And she comes down and says, oh, so it's like, how can you get, it's like people are always saying, give somebody grace because they don't understand. But it's like, when you do understand, when you have had talks with people and Laverne was not, if you watch the interview on Breakfast Club, she was not nasty to her. She didn't call her out of her name. She didn't refer to her as a bony toe. She didn't refer prefer to hers. Any of these things that everybody keeps saying that's like, where these things, these are things that extremist people come and then y'all take this and y'all run with it. It's like, instead of doing that, what I do is I'm a critical thinker. I listen to both sides of every argument. So I actually will go into reading or watching lecture, whatever I have to do to get the knowledge to hear both sides. I don't just look at the things that are sensationalized. I look at both ends of it, right? And that's how I get come about getting, how I see things, right? Most people don't do that. They look at these clips, and these clips are what, 15 seconds.
Baby, I'm doing my research.
Yeah, they do these 15 seconds, and then they're like, oh, this is, I knew this is why and it's like, wait a minute, girl, and like I just asked her, I said, do you know anybody do you know girls, do they act like that? And she said no. And most of the people that I've asked, I've been on many panels.
Hating on each other.
Listen,
we don't feel threatened by each other.
I've been on many panels. I've been on many panels while and I've asked that same question, and everybody gave that same answer that you gave. So I'm just like, well, why do you believe this? And none of the people that you know do this.
That's an oxymoron. Because you say that, but then if you have one person who gives you an injustice, like just bringing it back to black and white, it could be one white person, one white bad police officer, but do we attack one white police officer, or do we say ban and defund the entire police department nationwide?
Well, no, that's not the same thing.
They saying defund everybody. We don't give a goddamn.
That is not the same thing.
Let's ask that question. Because Dr. T put up a good point when she said that she would go on these panels and they would just give the same answer. So finish, Dr. T.
I just want to speak to that because he said if you get one white, that is not the same thing. First of all, systematic racism and that white people that's been Rodney King, and before then, this is not a one cop has beat. So that's not, you can't even sit around and say this. And let me tell you something, just FYI, right? Because I was born in the 80s, right? I was born in the late 80s. Just FYI, right? Before all this stuff in the 2000s started coming about bathrooms, the girls have been going to the bathrooms. The girls have been living alongside with everybody. But now since everything has been, social media has brought up these things, these divisive ways to break up now everything's a big deal. But before then, we were not getting along. Like we were getting along. We were living side to side. Now there was some injustice that was still happening, but I'm saying the conversations, like these conversations that are coming up, these things were not something that was like a real big issue. There were other systematic issues against the community, but these issues like this, like, oh, most of the time the girls actually gave honor to. They gave honor to, they gave like all of that. So it's like, I don't understand why people will take that and take something they see on TV and then they run with that. And then they're like, okay, this is when in your own community, that's how you base really. People are normalizing. I feel like, this is my opinion. You don't have to be like this, but I feel like how I would base something is if I'm dealing with a gay person that I'm dealing with, and I know him, and I see his friends, and I go to the clubs in that area, and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't. And then I see some gay person come on TV because I just seen this on TikTok, has millions of views. A gay person walking outside with a damn thong on at night, and they're like, oh, see, that's why they all pedophiles and everything. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, the whole community of gay men are pedophiles. Like, I'm not gonna, because I'm like, okay,
but you may not think like
that person
a lot of people do. But a lot of people do within the black community.
Not everybody is sick.
Like that. In the black community, a lot of people think like that.
Not everybody is sick. You know what I'm saying?
But not everybody is sick. But what I'm saying is a lot of people think
what does wearing a thong have to do with pedophilia, child?
I don't.
But you know, people take things and run.
I'm saying the whole thing, but it's just like, y'all saying the same thing, but it's just like different.
Yeah, like I'm saying is like I don't understand the thong and the pedophile thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what actually the video's on TikTok. It's a video where a man is walking and they got him on the ring camera, and the black dude saying, "I'm happy y'all got this shit on the ring camera," and then all he said, "See, this is why they pedophiles."
Yeah, but even if you take the pedophile thing out of it, if you see a gay man down there that's feminine, and then I tell you I'm gay and I'm just a masculinist wannabe, you and your mind gonna assume that I'm just gonna turn into feminine. You all of a sudden you just assume I'm gonna turn into be all these feminine things. Like that's just how it works out here.
No, but see, that's why we're trying to grow, though. See, wait, because I work in therapy, right? So listen, we're always saying that's just how it is.
Oh, you work in therapy?
But the evolution. I work in therapy. Yeah, I work in therapy. That's how. That's how it is.
So you work in therapy, and you're saying I'm trying to understand your point because it's not really a point to me. Because what I'm saying, and this is what I'm saying, I want to be very respectful for saying it. You're saying you've seen this video on TikTok about a person walking in a thong, and they correlate their dress style to them being a homosexual predator.
No, okay.
I feel like that's a new point. That's a new point.
Okay, so listen. Let me explain. Let me explain it again. And if I can help y'all find the video, I'll help y'all because I think I saved it. So basically, there's a man walking at night in his thong and nothing else on, with some high heel shoes on at night in an apartment complex, and he's walking, I guess, through the apartment, which is probably someone that's mentally ill, right? But he didn't look mentally ill. He looked like young, vibrant. But see, people don't know. They judge it. They don't. People don't think of the whole thing. This is the problem. This is the problem with social media. They see clips. They see clips. They see clips. They see clips of something, and then they make. It's a buzz thing. Huh?
You're a counselor, but you just judge somebody and saying that they're mentally ill without even knowing them. You're judging.
I didn't personally say that. I did not personally. I said they think.
She didn't personally say that, Harvey.
Oh my God! See, this is the thing. See, this is what I'm saying. You're not even listening. You're not even critically listening. I didn't say. I said people on. They were making the point of that. I was not. I said the people on the video were saying that he's a pedophile. I did not call him. I did not say
I didn't say you called him a pedophile. You called him mentally ill, who apparently was mentally ill.
I did not. I did not call him mentally ill. Am I
losing my hearing or something?
I think you are losing your hearing. I didn't say he was mentally ill. I said he could be. I said he could be having some problem. I didn't say he was.
Replay game. Let us know what said.
What I'm saying is, you never know. Is what I'm saying. You don't know what somebody. He could be regular. You don't know what's going on with people. People see a 15-minute. I'm sorry. People see a 15-second clip.
She did just say that. I mean, she did just say that. I'm sorry.
Okay. What did you say? No.
You did say that they were.
What I was saying was. So let me clarify then to you. What I was saying was, people will see somebody walking like that. And hypothetically, what comes to their mind is, oh, this person is this or this or that, like they did in that video. They didn't. If you search the video up, it'll come up. The man was saying this stuff, not me. So maybe I did. I'm sorry. I don't think I said that, but maybe I did. From what he was, I was repeating what he was saying on the video. So I'm just like, people will say this. What I'm saying to you is, people will say stuff like this. Oh, this person is mentally ill. Oh, this person is this. This person is a pedophile. This is what this man was saying in this video. So maybe I'm not explaining it right, or it's not coming out right, but that's what I was trying to get across to you.
Let me
but I guess we get really passionate. We get really passionate.
No. I want to say this. Let's be wild. You're a cis woman, right? Because we're in the gay space. I got to be politically correct.
Let's talk wild. Yes.
Let's talk wild, Miss Wild. Okay.
Okay.
So you are a woman. If I call you a man, would you be offended?
A man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be offended because I'm not a man. Because I'm not a man. I'm not a man. I'm not a man. Don't identify as a man.
Hey, but Trey. If you know who you are, why would you be offended if somebody don't know who you are? If you know
what you talking about?
What I'm saying is, if you identify as a woman, and that's who you are, and you know that through and through, if somebody misgenders you, why would you be offended?
Who said well, if I tell you because you can clearly see that I'm not a trans man. You can clearly see that I'm a woman. I'm a woman, so I would be offended because I don't look like a man. I'm not wearing men's clothes. I don't have a beard. I don't have facial hair. I don't present myself. I don't present myself. I don't present myself as a a man. So if you a person would come up to me and sit there and say, "You're a man," to me, you're like being an asshole. So yes, I'm gonna be offended because you're being an asshole. Come on now, like be for real. Let's have common sense. Like, come on.
And I know who I am.
No, I'm not saying you don't have it, but I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't I be offended? I'm not dressing up as a man. So if somebody's walking up to me telling me, "Oh, you're a man," like, bitch, get the fuck out my face. Like, but I got a man right here that'll fucking beat the shit out you though.
Allegedly.
So okay, we're going left with the conversation.
No, we're not going.
I wasn't threatening Harvey or nothing like that.
No,
I'm just saying.
I know you wasn't, but I feel like
no. But what I'm saying is, Aaron, though, if people know who they are, who cares what anybody else calls you?
Because nobody wants somebody. No, because nobody wants somebody. The way you're explaining it, somebody's just walking up to you and say something to you like, "What? What are you talking about? Why are you even talking to me?"
No shade. Even there are people who do not want to be called cis. There are men who do not want to be called cis or
right,
anything.
Aaron.
Not just go up to anybody and just call people, but like,
what we're talking about.
Can I say something?
No, you can't just do that, especially with people that's not like looking the part. You know,
it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
If I think Aaron's a woman, and I run up to Aaron,
I want to say one thing, right? So this is a big thing that people are also like conflating, right? Is that who's walking around calling people cis? I'm trying to figure this out. I just want to know.
It just wasn't a thing back in the day. This shit is new.
But no. See, but you're not answering the question. You're not answering the question. You're not answering the question.
Harvin is the type to just say hey to everybody. You know, Harvin is very friendly. As I got a chance to be around Harvin and see how he acts, he is very friendly. He's very friendly. He'll say hi to the bum that's sitting down.
Oh my god!
Shooting up heroin in his arm, child. Like he will say hi, spark up a conversation. He's very, very friendly, and he'll just be. He's a very, very friendly individual. He's just a friendly individual. So that's why I feel like that's the comic. But let's move forward from this.
It's all about your confidence. If you are a fucking woman, can't nobody come for your womanhood. Now, what I am saying is no sexual preference and new sexual identity, because we got transgenders today. Then what we gonna call the people transition into animals? Because it's happening. What we gonna
leave the animals out of it? You better leave the animals out of it. Leave the animals out of it.
Wait, hold on.
Because
I think I somewhat understand where Harvin is coming from. Because I also have to be honest. I don't think no woman should have got offended by this one trans person's comment, because if you know for a fact that you can produce a full human being, and you have the genetics to have a period,
genetic makeup,
whatever that stuff is, you shouldn't have gotten so upset or in your feelings about one person's opinion. I definitely understand that.
Correct.
Why people feel like why people even pay Jess. No matter of fact, Jess shouldn't even have responded to this person's video, because if you know that you can bear children and you have menstrual cycles and all that, and you know that this person can never. I would have paid it like legend, in my opinion.
Well, unpopular opinion. Jess is self-conscious. Unpopular opinion.
And that's why she and it broke down to you that Jess often, I think Madison also put up a video of her saying that she got mistaken for a trans woman.
That's what I said.
But
That's what I
this
said
also
in
not the
beginning.
first time that Jess attacked the LGBTQ community. Period.
Yeah,
she attacked the gays.
So she's very insecure about herself.
This is not the first time.
Insecure. She's insecure about herself, so she would respond.
And at the beginning when I first came in,
everybody
I said,
is not your ally.
When she came for Madison, right? Madison didn't come for her. Madison simply put
Ooh,
that up the tweet of her saying that I got mistaken, and multiple times. She didn't just do it one time. She said somebody hit her up in her DMs. She said a man hit her up in her DMs and offered her money
because he thought she was a man.
That's what I'm saying. So this is something she's been having to deal with. So she's upset. And it's okay to be upset. I can't take nothing away. And this is the thing is I don't suppress people's opinion. If you feel like that,
she said she was upset because when I watched that clip, she wasn't upset. She actually was laughing and she was saying how she still was going to do it. And she was practicing her stroke.
But subconsciously, she must have been a little bit, because this is like multiple times these are happening. It can mess around. It can mess with your psyche. Like, okay,
comedy as a way to hide their true feelings. Like, I feel like
I get that. No, I get that. But I feel like if Jess really had an issue, she would say it. She would say it.
She wouldn't say it. She really wouldn't.
Yeah, she would.
If she would, that would admit that she's actually threatened by trans women. And how can you be? And this the thing.
She may not see it as threatened. She may just.
I have a question.
She may just genuinely. She just may genuinely have some type of feelings or about it, but that doesn't mean that she's
even us
is not your ally.
That's hilarious.
Yes, I want to go back off of what Harvey said. I want to go back off of what Harvey said.
But listen, even us going through hypotheticals, we don't really
know. When Harvey said that everybody's not your ally, I agree. Now, this is my question. She has somebody that's very close to her in her circle. His name is Prince. I know him through 6 degrees of separation. Me and him got the same friend. He's a gay man. Okay. But the fact that she comes off very homophobic, transphobic, whatever, she attacked the whole LGBT community at this point. But this is the question I want to ask. What is up with women having gay friends, but then the minute that they upset with something they don't hear or they met the gay friends, they disrespect the whole the fuck out of the LGBT community instead of that person? So now it happens all the time.
That's wrong. I never do that.
Think it's what Harvey said. Everybody's not an ally. So at that time, it makes me feel like, was you really my friend, or was you around me to benefit or with the community to bring?
I mean, if somebody's an ally, they're going to stand up for what's right. Like I was saying, back in slavery, they had white people who were known as Quakers, who hid slaves when they were doing the Underground Railroad and, let them stay in their houses and stuff like that. Some people are allies and some people are not. It's up to us to live life and the experience of life to realize who was an ally, who was for us, and who was against us.
And guess what? Let you say something around me. Let you say something around me, right? About a black woman. Let you say something around me about a black woman. I'm going to cuss you out because my sister is like, I don't go for that. So I'm like, where does this stuff come from? When people are like, oh, y'all are, I don't know any girls like that. And I know many black girls. I'm in the ballroom community as well. I'm one of the women in the ballroom community as well. I walk real
do you walk or anything? Are you part of a house?
I am. I'm part of the Mugler.
Oh, where are you?
Yes.
And guess what? We and where all of us, right, in the community, right, we have female, women category. We separate women category. We have women categories. We have butch queen male categories. We have trans. We have all the people coming together, and we all do it together.
Like button, guys. Period.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where do people get that disrespect? Because we don't, even in the ballroom community, we don't disrespect our girls there. We don't.
Yes, you do.
Oh yeah, I already know y'all don't.
Well, they have been very harsh judgment. We're not talking about ballroom. We're not talking about ballroom.
You're reading. Shading down.
Okay, it's a competition. It's a competition.
I'm trying to paint this picture perfect community of gays. It doesn't exist. It's not realistic. It's just not true. We all judge each other. That's why identity
okay,
is
but
important.
overall, the
So you
bigger
need to know,
picture,
and I need to
the
know,
bigger
Paris
picture.
and Wild and Philly need to know that who we
I
are. So nobody in
Child, I
any
lived in West
community
Philly,
can tell us
42nd
who
and
we
Preston, so
are.
I know.
Period.
Listen, when I was coming up in our community, we did not disrespect our women. So I just don't understand where that's really coming. We didn't.
That
We
has
just
been a
didn't.
thing
And
since
so
the 90s.
Okay, but wrapping up, because this is 2 hours. This is 2 hours. Wrapping up. Anybody have
like
any
that.
last final words on this whole entire?
Let me go because the baby just woke up. So I just want to say, we just all need to all just get on the same page. It's all love. It's okay for us to all it's okay for all of us to have this conversation. I'm glad that we're all having this conversation. Biological women, trans women, like we need to have these discussions. And sometimes they're going to be hard to talk about. Sometimes we're not going to understand each other, but it's all about being open to understanding each other and loving each other at the end of the day. But thank y'all for having this conversation.
Up here, let's talk.
Thank you for coming up. Wow, you know I live for you. You know I love you.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Wild, as well. Thank you for having the conversation.
Thank you, Wild.
Yes, thank y'all.
Go put
And
that
they
baby to
babies
sleep,
jumping.
girl.
Yes. He is not playing with me. He is not playing.
Period. Anybody else? Anybody else who wants to go next? Because I'm gonna go last.
Well, the closing statement says, honey. My closing statement is on this, right? You know, it's all about us trying to evolve. You know, if that's the case, then why are we fighting for Black rights? Why the civil rights movement was about civil rights. Civil rights, that means the rights of all people of color. That's what Martin Luther King fought for, is the rights for all people, right? To have civil rights, right? So it's like
really
at the end
LGBT,
of the day, we're trying to evolve. We're not trying to stay, stagnant. We're trying to move forward. So that's why at first I was just like everybody else, like, why do we have to keep including this and then I started reading, right? Mm-hmm. And because I never thought that in Africa, right? Because the way that things are now, because Africa's been colonized and all of that stuff, right? That was something that was around in ancient times. But then I started reading and I'm like, wait a minute. It talks about the sages and the people that were kind of like the oracles of the community. They have ancient texts. They even have it on some hieroglyphics, and they talk about it. It's like the different binary people, the two-spirited people, all of that. So it's like, this is not something that's new. And so we need to like come to a place where we're able to evolve and let everybody live. Let everybody, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. At least have a basic respect. And you don't have to, everybody doesn't have to like each other. Everybody doesn't have to hang out and be friends. It's just a basic respect. I really think that's where we're trying to go. So yeah. But I love everybody, and all the kids are beautiful, honey.
Thank you, Dr. T. Like, first of all, thank you for coming out and expressing because I really wanted to have a trans person on this panel to talk about it. I wanted some representation, and some of the people that I reached out to, they was supposed to come, but they didn't. They kind of fucked me over, and I just thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience and your opinions through this, and we respect you.
I thank y'all, and I respect each and every one of y'all. I'm so happy I got to talk to you, and I'm so happy to hear y'all view as well. You know, like these conversations do push things forward, and y'all have a wonderful night.
You too. And first of all, where are you? Can I just say, where are you in the world?
I'm in California, but I actually started. I'm originally from the Midwest, but I actually grew up between the Midwest and Philly. So I lived in West Philly. I know some people said they were from Philly, so I lived on 42nd and Preston, baby, right near you city.
I'm in North Philly, 25th and Clearfield.
Okay,
are you a licensed therapist?
Huh?
Are you a licensed therapist?
Yes, actually, yes, I am.
That's really good.
Yes, sir. Yes, they pay the government. Actually, they had a program and they paid for me to get all the certificates and everything that I needed to do. So yes, I am. And I plan on furthering my education as well. So I'm on the ground level right now, but I plan on furthering my education as well.
That's really
good. I work out of Los Angeles at the arts center for our community. So if anybody wants to know. Yes, baby, receipts, honey. Receipts.
Do not be a stranger.
Come with the receipts, baby.
Love to see it.
Because listen, I love our people being in therapy because listen, Lord knows our community needs it.
We need it.
Yeah.
Okay, we need
and
even
just the black community as a whole. I mean, really, that's what we're trying to.
Black community
that's
as a
really
whole.
what I actually want to just say one more thing. I actually have a passion for just the full community, like black women, black men, you know, the all our community as a whole. It's like I really want to see us come to a place where we can have common ground and we can stand together. I don't have to know what's going on in your bedroom and like it. I don't have to know I don't have to like what you're wearing. I don't have to agree. Just common respect and love to care. So if something is happening to you, I can say, let me help my brother or my sister. Other than that, we don't have to agree. And I hope that we can come to that common place one day. So.
Period.
So are you a
follow me on Instagram?
Okay.
On Instagram so I can follow you back.
Okay, for sure.
All right.
Okay. Love you guys. Mwah.
Love you too. Mwah.
We love you, Dr. T. Yes, buddy.
Billy, you're next.
My last statement, all I gotta say is let's just lead with peace and love and let's respect everybody. And I want to say thank you, Aaron, for letting me up to speak my little piece tonight, my little opinions. And that's all I gotta say. Harvey, I love you. Aaron, I love you.
Love you, man.
I love what y'all doing out here. Y'all doing your big one, and y'all have a great night.
You too, Billy.
Oh, Harvey, I'm gonna see you in September too.
You will, child. We already talked about
it. Oh, y'all going to September? I don't. So we gonna talk about it. But
yeah, I'm coming to Houston in September.
Period.
Bam.
Absolutely
love you. No, okay. So this is the event, but I shook it the fuck up just a bit at the end. Thank you, Let's Talk Wows. No shade. It was great to hear all your opinions. For Aaron to get a licensed therapist on here, a doctor at that. It's amazing how we do some of these interviews at times.
I didn't even know she was. I didn't even know. She's new. She's a new.
She's a newbie, right? And that's amazing, like, Aaron, to be able to snag a doctor.
It's so crazy. Like you never know who's in the bushes. Will this not be said? Yes, miracle everywhere. Yes, it will.
yes, it will. No, Aaron, honestly, thank you for inviting me up. I'm glad I was able to oblige and show up a little bit on time and get into some things. It's a very important topic, and you took it on headstrong, and for that is pure content creation. Thank you, Dr. T, for all of your, years of experience with this matter and subject matters like this. And everybody else who was in the chat who chimed in. It was very good to banter with you girls, guys, and unidentified. So, outside of that, Aaron, thank you for letting me up. Anytime you want to have conversations about trans, I am the first boy girl you should hit up, okay? Shout out to all the androgynous people out in the fucking world. Love you.
Love you too, Ariana. All right. So you guys, in closing, here's my final statement. Shout out to the shaders who even put me on notice about the topic, and I said I've been wanting to do a panel discussion. I thought it was needed because it just came with so much. And shout out to my guest speakers, from Scotty to Harviana to Dr. T to my nephew. Shout out to you for coming in such short notice and giving your opinion. Shout out to you. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Bryson. Shout out. If I didn't say your name, I'm so sorry, but shout out to everybody who came and gave their opinion. Rather you agree, disagree, if different, thank you for just being respectful and just having this dialogue. I know some people was kind of like, you know, some people are not the best for this topic, but nobody is the best for any topic. You either have it or you don't. And it's okay if that you're not an expert in that arena, but we make it do what it do. And thank you guys for being here. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all follow me on all social medias. I am on Instagram, I am on TikTok, and I am on I'm not gonna say the next one because a little in transition, but you already know. And I'm on TikTok and Instagram. Follow me on there. Love you guys. Good night and have a great day tomorrow, which is going to be the first day of August. Later, you guys. Have a great week. Mwah!